What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back at you with another video, and today we are going to be doing a Minnesota Vikings deep dive season preview. So if you guys are new, feel free to stick around, like, comment, subscribe. Love to talk to you guys down in the comment section below because you guys follow this team religiously, and this is a team that's gotten a lot of hype, especially from guys like Colin Cowherd. So let's see if you guys live up to the hype. First off, let's see what you guys did back in, I believe, April with the draft. So, started off with a big trade back with the Lions and ended up getting Lewis Cine. They traded up for Jameson Williams, ended up getting Lewis Cine. I got Andrew Booth and then Ed Ingram into the second. Lewis Cine was one of my top safeties, so I think that was a pretty solid pick. Andrew Booth had some injuries, and that pushed him to the second. I had a second grade on him as well, so pretty solid. Ed Ingram, I don't really know how he's going to exactly fit, but he's a really good run blocker. So we'll see how that goes. Brian Asamoah, I had a first round grade on him. He was my actual graded linebacker too. He's really good in coverage. So we'll see how he ends up panning out in the NFL. Caleb Evans, I felt like that was more of a desperation pick. He's a big corner who tested out all right. So, you know, he had his moments. He was, I believe, a Tulsa corner before he went to Missouri for a year. Didn't really see truly spectacular play. Sezi Otamiwo, he was 280 pounds, and he's the kind of forgotten guy there in Minnesota. Not a huge fan of him. Ty Chandler, I had a very high grade on Ty Chandler. He technically, keep this between us. When I first graded running backs, he had a higher grade than Kenneth Walker. I was a big fan of Ty Chandler and still am. He just doesn't provide the real upside of like a true RB1 the way that Kenneth Walker could be a three down. But he carved it up, man. 10 yards per carry, 5 yards, 50, or 5 carries, 50 yards in his first preseason showing. So he balled the F out. Big fan of him in that aspect. This is made before preseason week 2. So in case you guys are like, oh, well, he might have done this week, that's why. Jalen Naylor, I thought was great as well. Nick Muse, another pretty solid option. So overall, I really do think that you guys did a really pretty solid job in the draft. Again, the problem is there's no real star power. I don't think any of this is going to change your franchise. I don't think a safety is going to change your franchise. You've had Harrison Smith, right? Guy's a baller. Andrew Booth, if he can stay healthy, definitely has that potential. But I really didn't see oomph in this draft. And especially the reason I dropped it to a B minus rather than a B is because the trade you did was kind of a ripoff. You look at it and the Lions didn't really give up much in order to move up a lot. So that's personally not something that I was a big fan of. But let's check out the roster. Let's see what all the hype is about. Start off with the quarterback position. If you guys are new, sporttrack.com has a really good layout, apart from the fact that, well, it organizes the positions by alphabetical order, not logical order. So bear with me. Kirk Cousins, again, he's been the king of like the 1 year contracts or like the fully guaranteed. He's kind of the worst quarterback you could ever have because he's really good, but it's hard to say he's good enough to really bring you to that Super Bowl level. It's like, the floor is extremely high, but the ceiling just might not be high enough. And I don't know, like we'll see with this video, but we'll see if, the rest of the surrounding cast is good enough. Kellen Mond's looked, I mean, he's looked the same way he did at Texas A&M. He has some really good throws, and then like a lot that are just complete crap. His mechanics are garbage. He's just not that good of a quarterback. And I had my reserves, like my reserve feelings about him. I thought it was a solid option for you to at least take a shot. So again, not gonna crap on you guys for that, but he's just not. I don't really see it with him at all. Sean Mannion, good depth. Running back wise, Dalvin Cook, excellent RB1 when healthy. Again, he was a steal when he ended up going to the second round, and he should have been a first rounder. Looks amazing. So big plus right there. You got Kenny Nwangwu. I think he ran 4.32 on his 40. Like really good player. Ty Chandler's been balling out. Alexander Madison as well. Like you have a really good running back crew. And I think this is the reason why people like Colin Cowherd are big fans of this team because you have a good quarterback and a good running back core. So let's look at the receiving core because you have some stars here as well. Obviously, the top two, JJ, the Jets, Justin Jefferson. He's going to be, if not already, a top 10, top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. Really good player. Excellent receiver. He was my first big draft miss because it was hard to imagine that Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and Justin Jefferson were all that good. The fact is they were. And, him as a slot option, I devalued that at the time. We're in an NFL where that doesn't really matter at all. And he transitioned very well to whatever role you have to put him in. So, again, tip of my cap, I actually gave the pick an A because I was like, dude, this guy is exactly what you should be looking for the Vikings. So I did like that quite a bit, even though it was not necessarily working with my grading. I thought that was still a phenomenal pick, and it turned out to be so. Adam Thielen, really good player, getting up there in age. So he's getting away from the prime of his career. But again, really good players here. Jalen Naylor just got brought in, but I really like Amir Smith-Marset, and he showed out during the preseason game. I will say it is a little bit of a concern. I like Blake Prohl as well. I would say it's a little bit of a concern that you don't have a legitimate wide receiver 3. Like Amir Smith-Marset is probably closest thing that you have right now. Again, Jalen Naylor could be in there, but like Blake Prohl, he's good, but Albert Wilson's been a career journeyman as a returner. That's my only concern, is that you end up having a gap after your top 2. But there's still hope. Obviously, tight end. This is something I'm a little bit worried about as well. Irv Smith's really, I think that he could take it to the next level. I think he'll break out this year because he needs some money. Like, obviously, I'm not saying anything about his finances, but he wants his money. He's up for a contract. I don't think Nick Muse as a 7th rounder should be tight end 2. Tyler Conklin went to the Jets. I just did the Jets video like literally 30 minutes ago. Nick, like you lost him there. That's a big drop off from Irv Smith to Nick Muse. That's a little bit concerning. I have a feeling after a lot of guys get cut, I assume like under the conditions, particularly with the Jets, that Kenny Yeboah gets cut. Ooh, I would like him as a tight end 2. That'd be great. I still like Nick Muse, but not as a tight end 2. Let's look at the offensive line. Christian Darrisaw, obviously, I thought that he was a top 10 player or top 15 player in the class. Ended up falling to the 20s. You guys traded back and still got him. Big plus there. Ezra Cleveland, you guys got him back in the day. Brian O'Neill. Like, these were all really good players. So I like that. Vadarian Lowe is a brand new dude. Didn't know enough about him to give an honest, good opinion on that. Let's see if there's any other tackles listed, like maybe right tackle, left tackle. Nope. It made sense. I knew that we had our right tackle, left tackle here, but I would say that's nice. Again, deep down inside, I want one more tackle, but you have a really good depth piece here in Ezra Cleveland. I like that, and he has versatility to go to a guard. Speaking of the guards, you have Wyatt Davis here, still developing. Ed Ingram for your 2nd round pick. That's a little bit concerning that that's your top 2 guards, but they're both really good in the run game, in my opinion. So I'm hoping they can take a step. Obviously, you guys would have improved the guard position even more if you didn't have faith in Wyatt Davis to take a step. So I feel a little bit more comfortable there. Center-wise, Bradbury has been up and down. People have complained about him, and there were rumors that center was on their radar for the 1st round. So that was a bit of a concern. Regardless, overall, the offensive line, you have really good tackles, you have developing guards, and you have a questionable center. That doesn't really bode well for me, given the fact that I've heard so much hype. We'll see. Let's look at the defense, though. Before I start making conclusions, let's go to the defense. Building from the line out, Dalvin Tomlinson, Harrison Phillips. Really nice duo. You got Jalen Twyman here from Pittsburgh. Oh, my heart. That was the first draft I really looked in depth, in an in-depth way. And yeah, Jalen Twyman was heartbreaking. He was someone with so much potential, and everyone in that Pitt program tested awfully, like just complete crap. And Jalen Twyman was one of them. So that sucks. That hit a nerve. Um, I'm really concerned about the depth at this position. I'm not really excited about many of these dudes. Armin Watts has some potential, but you got Twyman here, but you have these two top guys, both really good. But again, depth's a little bit of a concern. For this series, we do assume full healthiness, but you can't like completely ignore it. Defensive end wise, you had Neal Hunter, one of the best in the game. Obviously he's looking, I believe, for a money boost very soon. He deserves it. Really good player. At this rate, it's a ridiculous steal. So I think he probably will want some more cashola. Patrick Jones, I hope he can really take a step up, man. But I really like the more I look at this, the more I'm concerned as to what people are really loving about this team, because I'm not seeing it as being much better than last year. So a big argument was how close the games were, where it's like, oh, well, they lost the most by one score. I get that. The problem is that when you analyze this roster, I don't see many pieces that will turn the tide. I don't see a team that will legitimately be dominant when I can't find a solid edge to, when I can't find depth on the interior defensive line to keep your dudes healthy. Like I am a legitimately I have legitimate concerns. But let's see, maybe there's an outside linebacker. Okay, I forgot about this. My bad. So there we go. That's why I was like, dude, it felt like there was somebody else here. Zadarius Smith, excellent addition. So that makes me feel a lot better because I was like, wait a second, like there's no reason in hell that we should be considering this team like a competitor. So you have a solid starting four. That's a good sign. So apologies about that because of the fact that, well, screw Sport Track. Regardless, that definitely makes me feel a lot better. It's a very nice pass rushing duo, nice starting interior duo. Linebacker. Man, this is looking a little rough. Obviously, you got Jordan Hicks was a nice addition in the offseason. Eric Kendricks is a baller, but Jordan Hicks is kind of a shell of himself. I don't really think he's a top end linebacker, but I do like the fact that you have experimental guys like Chaz Surratt, a third round pick from the year before, Brian Asamoah, a third round pick, who has a lot of potential, in my opinion. Troy Dye. Like you have dudes here. I'm not going to crap on your linebacking core. I do feel pretty good about it, just not excellent. And given the lack of talent of linebacker in the NFL, I don't really think that's going to be something that stands out for you guys. I think it's pretty common that I don't like linebacking cores. So to say that you guys actually have a pretty good one, it's a big plus. Let's go to the safeties though. When you look, what the hell? There we go. You got Lewis Seen. I assume that there's safeties located, free safety, and Harrison Smith. That's a thin safety room. Wow. Holy crap. So you got Lewis Seen and Harrison Smith and nothing else. You obviously had Xavier Woods before. I'm hoping when I look into these corners that we might find another safety potential, like someone to step in. Cam Bynum, if I'm not mistaken, could be able to play safety if need be. So let's pray about that. But I'm a little bit concerned. Corner-wise, you have Andrew Booth, Pat Pete. What's left of Pat Pete? Caleb Evans, Cam Dancer. Cam has a lot of potential. Andrew Booth has some injury concerns. Pat Pete is getting older. I'm not feeling it. Again, you guys made a majorly big move with getting Andrew Booth. I think that's a major progression for the future of your franchise. That's an excellent move. I'm not super comfy with the future of the rest of this team. Cam Dancer was jogging preseason last year. I hope that he gets his head and ass wired together and still plays at a high level that we've seen him play at. Caleb Evans, I just really think that was more of a desperation pick to fill a hole. Again, Pat Pete, I hope he can continue to be good, but I'm a little bit scared. Guys. So let's go right into the breakdown, so to speak. The Packers, they're really, really good in terms of their defense. Jair's going to be back. They had a top tier defense without Jair Alexander. And I think that it could minimize the effects. Looking at I'm thinking about the linebackers. I know they ended up bringing back Devondre Campbell. I do think the Packers are going to be really good. I do. And it doesn't really matter the weapons that they have because no disrespect, I don't really think you can cover them that well on the outside. I just don't have that much faith. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers making a statement week 1. I am. You guys go and beat the Eagles. Honestly, I kind of want to give you this game. I'm not going to because I do think Kenny Clark is a monster in the run game. I'm flipping this game, though, for the Eagles. I think the Eagles are absolutely dominant. They have too many weapons on the outside. They have way too good of a run defense, and they have really good corners. I think the Eagles very well might be the best team in the NFL if Jalen Hurts gets his head and ass bar together. And I don't think he has to exactly to be able to beat your roster at the moment. The Lions here, I've given them some shade, man. But you're at home. I really do think that you're probably going to take cake on that. Your weapons are just too good. The Saints, I've thrown some shade the Saints way as well. I even given them a victory? I haven't. I've given them 0-5. Jameis, obviously, he has a revamped receiving core. Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, as well as Chris Olave. That's a good start. Left tackle's an issue. I think that might even the playing field a little bit. And again, I honestly don't think home field advantage is that big of a deal when you're inside, but I still think they're better than the Lions. Oh, I'm having a tough time here because I think that the Saints have invested a lot to be able to continue advancing their game. And I do think that Jameis Winston's going to start getting to his groove again, and he has a lot of really good weapons. So I'm going to give that to them. The Bears, I just have no faith. I have no faith in Chicago at all. It's really sad. I think they're actually going to go winless. I actually do think that. Holy guys, do I have look at this home stretch of wins here. I think that this game's gonna be pretty fun. I think this game might switch back once I watch the Cardinals and look at their roster. I'm gonna give it to the Vikings because they're gonna be rested, have that extra week, and Kyler Murray naturally gets beat up a little bit because of his size. I think that would be a good move to say that Washington has a lot of potential. They do. Very similar to this team. And I think that they have the ability to be able to beat you guys. Buffalo, I don't really need to explain that. The Cowboys just don't have the firepower. They don't. And I actually like your linebacking core, so I think that they can handle the run game of the Cowboys. Patriots, I don't really think they can handle it either. Same thing with the Jets. The Jets have some good players, but I don't have faith in them. I think the Lions will sneak one on you guys. Again, it's in division. They're usually tough games, and I gotta show some love the Lions way because they have really good players, and I think they could be able to take advantage of your corners that way. And Goff's not. He led a team to the damn Super Bowl. Granted, it was Todd Gurley's shoulders that he rode up on, but he still carried them. So that's a good sign. Again, Colts are a Super Bowl caliber team. Giants are a joke with Daniel Jones. They have a lot of potential, but I don't think they're going to reach it. You got the Packers here. I'm going to choose Aaron Rodgers pushing for the playoffs. And then I really do think they're going to make that push. We're going to give this one to them. They're going to end up 8-9 here. So technically, they're not even 500. That doesn't seem right. But let's look at the schedule. So you're playing the Packers twice. I still think the Packers are really good. I kind of want to give you this game. Can you imagine? I only choose 2 games where the away team wins. That'd be actually really funny. Aaron Rodgers came out rusty last year. We're going to give you guys that 500 game. Let's review this. The Saints, I mean, I could call an upset here, but I do think that the Saints definitely should be getting some love. They do have a really good roster. So the Bears, no faith. Dolphins, you're in Miami. I mean, there's no real reason to discuss that. Like this one, again, this one could be the Cardinals dub, but I'm going to give it to you guys. Yeah, I'm not really wanting to change anything. So, in your schedule, 2 teams that are away are going to win. One is you, one is not. So we end off easy right there. I do think home field advantage doesn't mean exactly that much, but when you see the teams that you're facing at home, I'm pretty confident that you're able to win. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the far side. Peace.